So I think we should start. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining this today's session. I am Altaf Sheikh, Reset Hacker Developer Team Lead, and I am your today's host. And I will be giving a presentation on importance of Python for developers and cybersecurity enthusiasts. So let's begin this session. So let me introduce more about myself. I am a Python, Django, and blockchain developer, and I have also interest in cybersecurity. And also, I am a founder of Teach Me Pro, where I share my knowledge. So you can check that out. So let's move ahead. So let's begin with this quote. So this quote says that Python is the most powerful language you can still read. So what does this mean? So by this quote, I want to say that the reason why Python is being developed is to have a like to have a high readability of code and easy to learn. So you can see that Python is a very high level language. High level language means it is made for humans. And if you see any Python code, so you can see that it is much similar like an English language. So let's explore it more. So the benefits of learning Python. So before going to this, I would like to share something about Python. So uh, Python is a programming language. Okay, it is a scripting language, uh, which is used for development purpose mostly, and it is also used in AI/ML for machine learning purpose, and it is also used in automation. Okay, so Python. Let's come to the benefits of Python. Okay, so if you are new to programming and you want to learn programming and develop a career in this, okay, so if you Python might be your first choice because of some reason. Uh, like it is very easy to start with the Python language. If you are starting with C or Java, and it might be difficult for you to learn the programming concept. But with the Python, if you are choosing Python, your Python as your first programming language, then your learning curve will be reduced, and you will learn more through by learning Python programming. So yeah, so as I mentioned, Python is easy to learn and it is very easy to implement also. So the second benefit of learning Python is being open source. So what is mean by open source is, so Python is developed by open source community, which means that its source code is available to around the world, and any developer can work on it and enhance its code base. So and Python has a very huge community, so which means a lot of helps are readily available over the internet. Lots of documents will be available for you to, if you are facing any learning while learning, if you are facing any problem, you will find a solution over internet. Next, moving to the next point, like maturity and supportive Python community. So as I said, Python community is very large, very huge, and you will find help around, over the internet to your queries and problems. So the another benefits of choosing Python as a programming language would be, it has thousands of libraries available and frameworks written by other developers, and it is available all for free, and you can use them and learn more and more about it. So some frameworks, like there is a like Flask framework and Django framework, which are used to build web application. Web application simply means website using Python. You can like learn programming also, and if you want to move into like web development, you can go with Python itself. No need of learning any new language. And also, if you want to move on to the AI field, artificial intelligence, so Python has many libraries in that. One such library is scikit-learn. So using this library, you can leverage and enter into the world of machine learning, AI, deep learning, all this. So there is one scikit-learn is there, there is TensorFlow is there, and there are many communities out there from where you can learn and enter into this domain via Python. And so big data, machine learning, AI, as I just mentioned, that Python has a very uh, like good support for like AI, machine learning frameworks, and big data. All these frameworks for these domains and scripts are available over the internet, and you can just use it and get into it. And Python is also very famous in automation stuff, and web scraping. So scraping data from a website, making a crawler, making automate some like task. So it has inbuilt features in Python to do all these things, and various libraries are also available to perform such automation tasks. So also, Python has a good hold over the cybersecurity and infosec community because of its easy learning curve, and with a small span of time, you can learn it and you can start implementing it. And already, lots of cybersecurity researchers is been using Python to build tools and automate to build their tools and perform their task. So the community for Python in the domain of cybersecurity is already grown, and so that's the reason why. So you will get support if you are like into cybersecurity and you are using Python to build tools. You will find similar repositories or libraries out there, and which you can refer and build on your own. So these are the some benefits of learning Python. So moving on to the next. Uh, let's see how Python, from the perspective of developer. Okay. So let's see. So Python is the in demanding skill in the market right now, as it is like trending in web development. It is also trending in data science, AI, ML field, and also like companies like Google, Facebook, Instagram, and many other big companies are using Python in their products. So because of this, there are a lot of job opportunities in all these companies, and as the uh, data science, AI, ML field is in trending, and Python is one of the best, or you can say the top language which is being used in this field. You have a greater opportunity in this field also. And as I mentioned early, you can like Python is also like you can do web development via Python. So frameworks are like uh, Flask is there, Django is there, a Tornado is there, and along with that, you can even build a mobile application also. Cross-platform application you can also build with Python. There is a framework called Kiwi, uh, using which you can build a cross-platform application. So cross-platform application means you can write a single code which will work on Android also, and it will work on iOS also. So You can do that also. And also, if you want to make a desktop application, so Python is also has framework to build powerful desktop applications. So framework like PyQt and Tkinter is there. So you can use these frameworks to build desktop application as well. So these are the field which in which Python is like successful, and you can easily enter in your preferred domain in whichever you like to move. So this is we have seen the Python with the perspective of a developer. So let's move and see Python for security enthusiasts. So as we can see, cybersecurity professional can get up to speed quickly. So as I earlier mentioned, so the learning curve for Python language is very short. So anyone, any beginner or any cybersecurity researcher who is a beginner, intermediate, or expert can, if he is starting learning Python, can quickly learn it and start implementing it, and experimenting with Python is very easily, because of lot of documentation is available, lot of people share their code, a lot of support is over the Stack Overflow, and people write blogs, and so lot of support is readily available. And cyber security tools are already available. So as we see that very many tools which are present online are mostly developed in Python. So the one reason might be is that because if we look at like programming languages like C is not like object oriented. You can do simple tasks, or it is not good in networking also, because it does not have inbuilt support in that. Okay. And whereas Java looks very complex. If you write a few lines of code, if you want to do a simple task also, there is a lot of code you need to write. The third language, let's took JavaScript. So JavaScript, you need an environment, a Node.js environment to write scripts and all in the JavaScript. And it is not the support, and that library is not available with JavaScript. But whereas we see for Python, Python is just like a go-to language. So whatever you want to do, you just write it and Python does it on the go. And also the support, it has like inbuilt support for networking packages is are there. It has inbuilt cryptographic libraries are there. And it has automation libraries are there. So Python has inbuilt support for many such things. So that makes a good choice for security researchers to use it. And the community is already using it. And so that's why it is quite popular and a first choice for security researchers to go with the Python. And next you can do is, so once you can write powerful scripts using Python. And the next thing is build your own tools. So once you are beginner, and while learning, you might not build your own tools. You will be using tools developed by other developers or other researchers. So once you reach at the intermediate state, to go more deep into this field or to make a good career in this field, the you must know how you can build your own tools, how you can automate your tasks and all those things. So Python is a great choice. You can once you are at the intermediate level, you can build your own script using uh, Python. So this is all about Python usefulness in cybersecurity. So let's move on to the next slide. So this is 8.2 million. So this number of people are using Python all around the world. So you can imagine this number of people are using Python and discussing about Python, and they are sharing their knowledge over the internet. So it's a very huge community, and you will get support for it. So let's come on to the online resources to like learn Python. So I have handpicked some of the resources. This might not be the only resources. You can follow other resources as well, but these are the resources which I have picked, and I have also followed some of these tutorials, and I have also done certification from some of these things. So I have put these things here. So first thing, you can see that you can if you are like a starter or beginner and you want to do a certification, so you can do it by NPTEL. So NPTEL, an Indian organization, it is led by IITs. So they provide certifications. So I have done this certification, Python programming and data structures. So you can check that out. It has online. It has a exam. So now they might be taking it online, but I don't know. But you can check that out. And the next thing is W3 Schools. Yeah, it's a very quick resource if you want to just go through with the Python and know wants to know like how it is working, and just in a very simple manner. So you can just head on to this website and just learn it and grabs the Python. So next, let's move to the video tutorials. So this is my personal favorite, Telescope. You can check his YouTube channel. I have given this link. So you can learn Python from here. Also, you can understand the various programming concepts here. Another YouTube channel is Clever Kazi. You will learn different way of writing codes. The same thing can be written in different format. Can be wrote in different style. So the more number of tutorials you follow, you will learn more and more. So Python for pen testers. So I think Pentester Academy has a very good course on that. You can check that out also. And along with that, I have listed certificate. If you want to do certification from MNC like Microsoft or Google, you can check these two links. And also you can, if you want to try out other resources, so SoloLearn is the app. You can try that also. And Progate is also there, and I have also made a short tutorial on my website, Teach Me Pro. So if you want, you can check that too also. And there is Code Academy where you can practice as well as learn together. Free Code Cam is also there, and Data Cam is also same, where uh, data cam is like where you will get all the things related to data science and AIML, and with there you will also find Python, and you can learn Python also. And if you want to have keen interest in AIML, so you can go through that also. They have very nice courses for that. So let's move on. So projects for beginners. So the best way to get a grip on any language is to make projects or write some scripts or write some small programs. So you here I have listed some of the projects topics. You can uh, make project on this topic, or you can, if you have any some good ideas, you can build on that also. So web crawlers, if you are building a web crawlers, you can work with a package, a library called Request Library. It's a very cool library. You must learn the usage of this library, and API usage will be required for this type of project. Tic Tac Toe game. uh, rock paper scissors game or a calculator or a quiz application. All these you can either make a web-based GUI, web application, or you can make a desktop application. So if you want to go with a like web application, you can use Flask, Django. Flask and Django are the most popular framework for building web application. Flask is a little uh, minified library, and Django is a very powerful and a big framework of Python, which is used in industries. And if you want to build this for application desktop application, then you can use Tkinter or PyQt5. Okay. And desktop GUI, for desktop GUI we have, like, you can, if you want to build any kind of GUI, hotel management system, or uh, a quiz application, or a chatbot, or a calculator, so you can use Simple GUI. It is a very good framework. You can start from here, or you can use Tkinter, uh, and also you can try a certificate generator. This also a good project, and automating bulk email sending. You can try this project also. So let's move ahead. So these are the some books I have listed. Uh, you can check this book if you want. If you want to learn via book, uh, if you learn from books, and if you love to read books, there are some books you can check them check them out and start your learning Python journey. So let's see. So let's discuss some problems which you may face. So, like, platforms to practice Python. So suppose you are not having a good PC with you, with less specification or something, or even you don't have a laptop, but you still want to a programming language like Python. uh, Specifically Python. If you want to learn Python and you don't have like good resource, so don't worry. You can do learn Python by, by coding in Python, by coding in browser. So what I mean is, so there are some services, websites are there, on going to which you will get the whole IDE there, and you can the Python interpreter is available to you, and you can just write any kind of code there and just run on the browser. You don't need to have a good specification laptop. You just need a browser. Just hit on the website and just start coding it. So website like Trinket is there, Ripple.it is there, and uh, Google Colab. Google Colab is like a Jupyter notebook type. Jupyter notebook is a IDE for Python, and Google Colab is similar to that, but Google Colab is like also used for machine learning purpose. So with Google Colab, you get CPU also, you get GPU also, and you get TPU also. So if you like, suppose you are into AI ML, and uh, you don't have a good laptop with you because you can't afford GPU and all those stuffs. So you don't need to worry. If you want to learn things, so if you want to build models and all, just go to the Google Colab, and there they provide uh, CPU, GPU, and TPU to train your models. There you can just write your whole code. It's all in systematic manner. Everything is like perfect there, and you will not lose your work from there. Do check out Google Colab if you are like facing such issues. And PyDroid 3. So if you don't even have a laptop, and but still you want to practice Python, So there is this application called Py.3, which will help you to learn, like help you to learn, help you to write Python code into your mobile. So let's move ahead. So here are some roadmaps, full guide you can say. So I have this is my personal material which I have written. So suppose you want to be you want to make career in web development, or you want to be go deep into AI ML only, or you want to be in mobile application development, you want to build Android apps or iOS app. So I have mention the whole path in this, what things, what frameworks you need to learn, not only to Python. I have covered with perspective of different languages like JavaScript, Java, Python. I have picked from different language perspective. So if you want to be a Node.js developer, you will find a guide. You want to be a Python developer, there is a guide in this PDF, and I will be sharing all these links. So you can find all this material, everything. I am sharing this PPT link. So I have shared in the chat box. So you can download this PPT from this link. Okay, and you will get all the links to this PDF, and links to whatever we have previously discussed, the platforms, the resources, and the books links. I have linked everything. You just need to click on it and you will get all the things. So if you are not able to get the link, you can just type it manually on the address bar, you will get it. So I'm opening it for a second. So now, I want you all to ask some questions too. Question in the chat box if you have any queries, and if some part you didn't understand, and you just ask me right now. I will happy to answer you. So, any questions for me? Anything you are facing any problem to getting into development or any kind of thing? So I will be happy to answer your question, answer your queries. You can answer. You can question me about any on any topic you are facing. Just please go ahead and type in the chat box. So we have one question. So can we automate our task like gathering all the log files with script in Windows Server for analysis? In short, how Python is more helpful in automation, and why should we choose Python instead of other language? Okay, so as I said that Python has inbuilt support for like automation. It has various libraries to automate stuffs. Okay, and you the tasks you want to perform to gather the logs. I think there might be some of the other libraries to perform that task. The only thing you need to do is just apply the logic, how like where the logs gets stored, or how they are like where they are stored, and what is the duration of the period for which the logs are kept. And according to that, just use this library, just google it, because I don't know the exact library which will be helping you to perform this task successfully, but I'm sure that there will be some libraries uh, through which you can perform such tasks using Python. As you mentioned that you want to do this in short code, then Python is very good for this, because all the other languages like Java and C will have some longer code than Python. I hope I answer your question. Okay, we have one more question. So the question. So sorry, my internet connection was breaked. I lost my Wi-Fi, so that's why. So let me present my screen once again. And if anyone has any question, please let me know in the comment section. And till then, I will like show you a demonstration of a platform like where you can practice. So Ripple.it is like this website. You can see it here that it has a very good UI, and the interpreter is being loading, and here you can just simply just write your code and just run it. And the good part is like you don't need to install and configure your install Python or install any packages. So as you make the import of any package, it automatically install packages on the go and just run your program. So it's a really cool website to like learn and practice Python. So just it's also free, so have an advantage of this. Okay, so any other question, guys? Uh, Also, the links and links to the PPT I will add onto the YouTube description section, so that if anyone watching from there, you can get it after this session is being over. So if no one has any doubt, so I will move further to conclude the session. Will it be fine? Let me know in the comment section if everything is clear and you don't have any doubt uh, till this point. Okay, cool. So I hope everything is crystal clear, and so I am moving ahead. So thank you all for being into this session, and you can find me on these handles. You can check out my personal portfolio here, and you can like support my work on teachmepro.com, and you can follow my Instagram page, and you can support my work on there. And there I share my knowledge. So I also would like to give a special thanks to Reset Hacker to give me opportunity to demonstrate to give this session. So you can follow the Reset Hacker community on this all handle. And I hope if you are developer and you want to learn more and more things, and you want to either get into web development or either application development, or you want to be in AI/ML or any kind of field, and any kind of development field, and you are looking opportunities or you want to learn more, so you can just join the Reset Hacker developer community, and you will get such opportunities, resources to learn, and every other things, and help from us. We will guide you. We will guide you if you are having any problem. We will Our team will help you to resolve that problem, and yeah, we will both together have good learning, and together we will learn and we will grow. So thank you for my side, and thank you for being at the end of this session. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Sachin. Okay, how to insert data in machine learning program with Python? Insert. Okay, how to insert data in machine learning program with Python? So yeah, it's not about inserting. Okay, so what we do in machine learning is there are some prerequisites. Okay, some basic process is there. First, like we need a data set. So, okay, we need a data set on which we are like, so suppose we are solving a problem of text classification. Okay, so for that we will need a data set related to that, and then we will clean the data if any kind of uh, if data is incomplete, or it has some if emojis is there, or any unwanted data is in the text. So we will first remove it. So there is a whole separate thing in machine learning and data science, which is pre-processing of data. And first we pre-process the data using libraries like Panda, NumPy, and other libraries are there. And after pre-processing the data, we choose some models. We have readily available some models. Once we get the data, then we just decide on which neural network we have to train. Okay, so we just write the whole step of our we create the neural network, and we just provide the data. There is an option when you will code, when you will see the lines, then you will get to understand that, okay, then you have to provide the data. The machine will go through that data, find some patterns, some similarities, and draw some conclusion. So you can see that by plotting confusion metrics, and you can get that an idea of how your model is performing. And based on that, you can take a guess. The take a guess, like, okay, you have provided the data properly or not. So basically, you split the data into some x and y parts. Okay, and the suppose the data set we have is 100%, so we kept 80% and 20%. So 20% for testing the model, and rest 80% is divided into x and y, and then this x and y is given to the from the data set. We pick some features. We pick those data or those column only which we think that this will contribute to have a better prediction. So we try some trial and error method to do that, because at one go we didn't get all the things clear. The best result, we just try, okay, let's keep this feature, this keep feature, and with the minimum number of feature, if the model accuracy is good, then your like model is perfectly fine. uh, if you are getting like accuracy of 98 99%, so then just assume that you have overfitted your data. So this is how like you split x and y set data, and you train it, and with the remaining data you test the data. Just like in the exams, we are given the textbooks, we have to learn from them, and in question in exam they prepare from that textbook only, but the question is hidden, like the question is not shown to you, so you have to answer that thing, the same concept. So what are the main key features of Python? So the main key features of Python are, as I mentioned, that uh, if I want to like sum up the like the core, the best features of Python is, first thing, how why I prefer to learn Python or to work with Python is, I have first started learning Python programming with C. I have learned with C all the basic programming concept, and then I moved to Java as it was in my curriculum. So, but with these two languages, I never found to write something on my own. I find very difficulty with implementing logic in these programs, because we have to write uh, many code before writing the actual programming, actual logical code, and the syntax are very scary and very complex, and all those stuffs. So that's why after getting introduced with Python, I feel like that the way I am thinking, or the logic to my problem, the same thing, in the same way I am implementing it on the program via writing some program. So that's make me fascinated to use Python, because the things, the functions, the libraries, and all those things are just like the way we think. So suppose we are want to print something, so simply there is a print function. So if we want to take input, there is an input function. So whereas if I compare this thing with programming like Java, there is system dot out dot println to print a thing. So to just print a thing, I am writing this much big sentence. So, and to take input, first I need to create an object, and then I will be taking input, and then I will be, if it is an integer, I will need to convert into integer, and all those stuffs is being required in other programming language. So this is the main reason, you should or one should pick Python, because it's like the simple English, the way you think, the way you do it with the code, and also it easy to learn. Lot of documentation is available, and it is uh, what do you say? Yeah, these are the major benefits of Python. You can say. So, any other question? Any other question, guys? So, shall we wind up with the session? Let me know in the section. So no more question, guys, right? So shall we? So I'm going to end the session. So thank you guys for joining this session and being with me. Thank you very much.